Good morning, everyone. This is Gail with TradersHelpDesk, and I just wanted to go over some patterns that are appearing on the higher time frames on the futures. Number one, we have formed a double top here, and this is a monthly chart. We also have divergence from the highs. This normally indicates that the market will go down. You're also seeing that divergence in the RSI as well as on the ADX. If you look over to the weekly chart, you also have divergence here because we went higher here, but we went lower on the stochastics. I do think we're going to get a retracement simply for the fact that we have the stochastics in the ADX almost at the point of being overextended. I would be watching the 20 period moving average as well as the ATR. If these areas form resistance, we're probably going to go down again. I'd also be watching this blue dot here, although I do think they're going to take out that blue dot. This is on the S&P 100. Of course, on the Nasdaq, it's pretty much the same. If I go over and switch to it, you can see on the monthly chart, you can see that we went higher here, but we're lower on the stochastics, also lower on the RSI, and lower on the ADX. Now, the reason that's significant is that it's telling you the momentum is not there for an uptrend, and that's very substantial. Now, in this case, on the weekly chart, you do not see any type of divergence on the highs, and the RSI is not showing divergence, nor is the ADX. Then when we go down to the daily chart, there was a divergence that kicked off this downward move, okay? But that was only on the stochastics, not on the RSI or the ADX. Now, right now, as we're making new lows, you can see we're making new lows in all of the oscillators as well. In other words, there's no divergence here. Even though we may get a retracement, it's only going to be a retracement to test for resistance. If that resistance holds, we may be in for a strong move to the downside. So, and you also see we have that reversal candlestick pattern. That is right here. We made a high, and then this bar closed under that low. Don't be surprised if the first couple of days we see bullish candlesticks. We're going to get tests for resistance. Now, it could go up to the 20 period moving average on the weekly chart, which will probably be either 74.55 to 76.29 area. Now, these will pull down with price, so you'll have to monitor the ATRs over here. Normally, if it retraces back to this ATR and it holds, it's going to come down even more. Now, if it breaks through this congestion dot, it will still test for resistance. The resistance is what powers the move, the next move to the downside. So they will check for resistance, but I think the overall big movement is probably going to be to the downside this summer. So the volatility has definitely come back into the futures. I am actively trading the futures now because we've had a return to volatility, which I love. But if you're a new trader, that volatility can be dangerous. I do have a live market analysis and coaching session that I run on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. We do go through all of the markets, including Forex and futures, to identify moves for the week or for the day. You can join that by using the link below, and I hope you have a wonderful week trading.